Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. My name's Chris, and do you know what? It's been a pretty good game week. So a few things to talk about, a few changes we've made, but there's a lot of improvements that we can show you. So I'll just start quickly on the first page. This is this week. Like last night, a Southampton fan, it went amazingly. Taylor Hall-Bellis getting a double, Leo Shenzi getting an assist. The only player that let me down was Adam Armstrong for once, but it was a cracking 3-0 win against Leicester. And it really worked out well. So this team's looking quite good on 516. We're 7th at the minute, projected 31st. But if John McGinn can get a decisive, then we're looking at a really nice red reward potentially, and that may help our cause because there's been a few changes. So I'm going to show you, enlighten you after our rewards, where we're at with things. So we've made a few changes to the club, so I'm going to show you. So yes, we've got some rare essence. So I'm going to take you through, and you might be thinking, well, how's it got rare essence in La Liga? Well, I've had a bit of a shake-up with the club. I said to you I was thinking about it, and I decided this is time. It was time. And actually, it might pay off in the long run. So I'll explain to you in a minute why, because I made some decisions with the team that are a bit risky, probably won't pay off in the first couple of weeks per se, so we might struggle in the first couple of weeks. But long-term, we're in a really good position. So we'll go through the results of this week because we had quite a good week. We've now got 1,700 essence, so we can do another craft. But let's just take you through my lineups for the last week. So, did the same usual again. We did Premier League. First trade I've done is Declan Rice. So, I'll actually take you onto my trade offers because you can see what I did with Trent's a Sorare trader, and I just wanted to mix up the club. So let me see if I can find quickly where my offer sent was. So offer sent. So this was my trade to Trent. So I thought, you know what, I need to get rid of Michael Elise and Harry Kane and Joshua Kimmich, and I'm not really fussed about my contender lineup. So I said to you, it's doing really poor. So what I've done is I've gone to a rare La Liga lineup now. My thought behind it was Rafinha, I managed to get for £94. Now, Rafinha was injured, but is now on the way back, so we're looking good there. Rafinha is now in a position where he's going to start scoring high, and when he plays and actually his scores are high, he averages around 300 quid sales. So it could be a case of short term, I have to stick with him and wait for him to get through that injury, and then I've got the opportunity to either have a player that's scoring really high 70s, 80s every week, or I sell him and then rebuild the La Liga team with 300 extra pound and actually make it all round very good. Because at the moment there's a few players in there you might not know. So Alvaro Nunes, he's from Elche, and I've got Aaron Escandel from Real Oviedo. Okay, so that was my first trade, and then my second trade. To be honest with you, at the time, I think this was a good trade because he's not been playing very well, Florian Wirtz. Ryan Cherky's in and out of the squad, so it's very inconsistent. So I was fed up with him, and they're inconsistent as a team. So Liverpool, Berhalter to get £8 when literally the season's about to finish. I know he's like still in the MLS, but I thought, you know what, this is a good time to moving on. £10 for Declan Rice. So you can tell me that's a good trade. Not let me know in the comments, but I felt like Declan Rice is a solid scorer through the season. He'll be really worth it eventually. And then I'll show you what else I did because I did pump a little bit of money in the game. So I've made a few changes because I thought, you know what, I need to freshen it up a little bit. So this is this week. I'm going to go to the Gameweek trade 9. I think it's much better. So Premier League was all right. Again, I'm actually going to potentially look to move Salah on and replace Salah because I think, although Salah's really good, he does let me down. He does let me down in the sense that I just don't feel like I get enough out of him anymore, and him and Alisson, like Liverpool, are in absolute disarray at the moment, and I just think they're actually killing my club a bit, and I'm a little bit annoyed I didn't use my Jordan Pickford here because Jordan Pickford has been great. 88 points and then another 50 points, and then Haaland had a bit of a shocker. So if I take another 50 points, we're looking at 750 to 1,000 essence. So yeah, that's really good. But again, Haaland didn't perform for the first week in a long time, so I can't really play. Ruben Diaz was excellent. So yeah, a bit frustrating, but not too much movement there. So I did some of my comment. I want to start doing some comment because you get some market credits. So that's really why I'm doing it. But Premier League teams were okay. I'm not going to go into too much with my common team today because I kind of wanted to make it my focus on what I've changed. So this is my big change. So firstly, the good start is we're promoted from the Division 3. So the first week we got promoted. That's the main thing. Like, you want to get up the divisions because if we're in the highest divisions and we do have a good game week, we take home the most cash possible. All right, and it's only this is where I've done it right. And if you're ever considering going from limited to rare, this is the big change, right? So this team, there's 822 people in Div 3. Now that's Div 3, right? If I take you to a limited Div 1 division, there's 3,000 in there. So the chance of you actually winning the limiteds now is quite difficult just because of how many people are in this. So you've literally got to have the best bonus, the best vault boost, and then on top of that, you've got to make sure these are getting all 80s, 90s. So it's really tough to actually nail that, really. But that's why I'll stick with it, because I think this team does have potential to do it. And if we get the right players in, so I might look at trading these two. I'm not sure who to do for yet. I might even look at some out-of-season players, because I've got one spare to go in this stack, actually, which is quite nice. And I'm like, if you look at this, there's 800 people in here, and I didn't have the great game week. So Rafinha came back on, and I went with Rafinha because I thought if he gets 10-15 minutes, which the coach said he would, there was a chance he might get a goal or assist. You never know with Barcelona and Rafinha. Like, he's a quality player, and I think even the Chelsea game last night, I know he struggled a bit, but that's because he's come back from injury. Once they give him more minutes, like 50-60 minutes, he will start getting those decisive actions. So that's really good. Edu's been doing really well for Espanyol. So Espanyol are 6th in the division at the moment, so they're like on the cusp of just outside the top players. And he's been scoring quite well. So if I show you his actual scores, he's been doing quite well. So look, if you look, he's actually doing quite well. Like, why I did it is because he's got a really high decisive in him. So if he has a really good game, he'd get that high decisive for us. So that's what you want. You want players that can boost you to the top. Santi Comasana, again, a bit of an attacking midfielder for Villarreal. And again, Villarreal doing really well this year. They're 3rd at the moment. So they're smashing the La Liga. So I thought, you know what, he might be a good one to have in there. And he was quite cheap as well. So I built this whole team for around £200. So on the ground, 250, 250. So that's really good, really, for a rare team. And Alvaro Nunes, actually, although he plays for Elche, the reason why I brought him in is he actually scores quite well. If you look at those scores for an Elche player, that's really good. And there's no decisive actions in a lot of these. So, yeah, there was some method behind Madness. And they've now played Barcelona and Real Madrid at Elche. So he had Real Madrid the weekend. They got 2-2 draw. So, yeah, there's some positive scores. And Aaron Escandel plays for the worst team in the league. Now, they got clean sheet, and look, it's got 89, right? He is an absolute player, because look at this score, look at those scores, right? These are the scores right here, and they are bottom of the league. So regardless of what happens, he is likely to score well for me. Now, I traded him for a value of around £57. So, and he's already at 61. So we're already in profit with that one. So as such, so yeah, and we got 100 essence habits, so we keep chipping away. I mean, look at that. We were literally, I don't think we have a very good game, and yet we're only 95 points away from cash. 174 points only away from winning it. That's not really that much, considering I got my captain didn't really. I had 4 players who didn't get any satisfaction, so it's really not that much. So if you're thinking about making a jump, have a think about that hard, because it might be worth it. And Rafinha this is a great time to pick Rafinha up, because he's now on the way back from injury. Yeah, like £94 now, so he is starting to rise ever so slightly. So just beware that, like, he will start rising now, because look, he's been out for the whole of. He's been out pretty much for the early parts of the season. But when he comes back, and I'm expecting to see more of this. Like, don't forget the international break, so I don't really care about that. But every score is pretty much 60 or above. I mean, look at last season. Some of his stats last season are a joke. Like, if I can get a period of this, wow, we're looking at big dollar. So, yeah, he's got some good fixtures coming. He's got Deportivo next. Then he's got Atletico Madrid, Real Betis, and then Frankfurt. So he's also got Champions League usage as well, which is good. So yeah, that's my thought behind that. And yes, it didn't come off perfectly to start with, but 340 points, 100 essence. We're on the way to starting to our La Liga team, all right, which is really good. I've also made a bit of a change to my Eredivisie team. Now, I was looking at my Eredivisie team and I thought, am I actually really struggling, or is it just the fact that I'm picking the wrong players? So I've decided to bring in Maro Jr. in season so I can play Joe Vim out of season. Now, as you can see, we've had a good week. So we've hit the streak. We hit 750 essence, but Joey Veermans is, look, I mean, we're 100 points away from winning it. And if I'm being brutally honest, I wouldn't think about getting rid of him. But he did alright, 60 points. He doesn't score that high. And this was just an unusual game week for him. He usually is unreal. So, to be fair, on the whole, this is pretty good, but it can be better. And these two especially, we can get these going, we'll win stuff in the Eredivisie now. So, I think Mara Jr. is really good because he's a defender, but he plays in the central defensive midfield role, which means he's going to bag loads of points that he wouldn't normally get as a defender. Yeah, look, this is my contender team. He actually did okay this week, but DMP, he keeps being 90% playing and then he's not playing. I think it's nearly 2-3 weeks in a row, so yeah, it's frustrating. And then I've got these guys. I'm 23, I just chucked the team in, but again, nowhere near it really. Didn't have a DMP, but overall, not too bad scoring. Arne Engels back with Celtic, so that may be something you want to pick up if you're in Celtic squad. Obviously, I tried my All-Star team again, they were safe. Obviously, Adam Armstrong had a really good game at the weekend, but not on last night, so I mean swings around, but yeah. So hopefully at the weekend I've got something to show you, maybe in a rare circumstance, which would be great, and that may change the club around. And then you've got these guys did alright, 102 essence, no rewards, they were terrible. DMPs, one not great, and then these guys nothing special. So overall, a good week, and we've changed things up. So my next thing to do is probably look at this position and this position, these two positions, because I want to make this stack. If I'm going to go down the rare route with La Liga, I want to make this stack unreal in Div 1 for the Prem. And my thought process is maybe looking at a different goalkeeper or bring Pickford in. And then my other thing here is potentially someone, either a Bukayo Saka or like a Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes always scores quite highly because he's always involved with Man United. So I'm going to have a think about that, and I'll let you know in videos to come. But I think Declan Rice was a must come into team. He's the best midfielder on the game, really, in the Premier League, and he scores so well for Arsenal. Like, he's so solid. And I really like that card sign with the old Halloween one. So I thought it was a really good move, actually. Yeah, so we'll finish off with a little essence craft, shall we? So we've got 50% Eredivisie, 50% All-Star, so there's a likelihood it's going to be a lot of Eredivisie. As you can see, we're on 282 essence for rare now, so we are building that up quite nicely, and hopefully we can get a craft sooner rather than later, especially with that midweek team. Something's going to come out of that midweek team, whether that's essence or a card, we'll find out. But let's draw it anyway. Let's see who we get. Who are we getting today? We're getting, it's a standard. Damn. Now, who do I find? Now, I've got a feeling Taylor Howard-Bellis is number 6, and he had a really good game last night. So I'm going to pick number 6. And we get Johannes Natschberger. And he plays. Interesting. Is he a goalkeeper? Oh, he's a midfielder. He looks like a goalkeeper in that kit. So he plays for, he's mostly a sub. He has a few decisives, but so far this season, nothing amazingly special. I mean, where are they in the league? They're 10th, so they're not a great team. But I'll keep him in the club. Is there anyone else that we'd have preferred? No. To be honest, it was a pretty poor craft, actually. There's no one in there I'd have gone, I really wanted. Actually, he's a 1-star, but compared to some of the 3-stars, I'll take him, to be honest. There's no one in there I want, so I'm not really that bothered. How much essence do I have left? 700, so even if I return and I've still got not enough for another one, which is frustrating. Yeah, so that's that. He can join the club. Probably end up making a contender stack again. In limited, we'll claim our Eredivisie. So we on game week. So we hit game week streak 2. So I could hit more essence now. I'll take the money because I think you should always take the money just in case. I don't know. Sometimes it's not that bad, but for me, I just always want to take the cash. just because if I get another craft like I just did, then I've lost out on £3 basically, and I kind of want to build it up. So here's where we are on the MLS. I've sort of moved on from now because it's the end of the season. I haven't got enough players to fill it up, and Eredivisie I'm at 400. So yeah, $25. That's the next one. We're in a good spot. I don't know if I can see. Yeah, so we're on the third one. $25. Then we're looking at that, but I reckon this is doable. You know, especially these two. I'm excited. I think this is doable with this week. So don't know who they're playing. Should we have a quick gander? So we'll go on. I'll forget all the other teams for now. We'll just focus on Eredivisie, just see what chance I've got. So PSV are playing. Let's be honest, that's who we care about. Volendam at home. Oh, this is going to be such a strong game week. Yeah, like we're in such a good position with this team. And the other player I'm thinking about bringing is Sorare. He's also another strong one. So yeah, but that team, you'd hope against Volendam at that percentage would score highly, but we'll see. That's exciting. I think the 400's definitely on with that team. When do they play them? 11:15 on the 30th. So that's 4 days time. So what we now Wednesday. So that's Saturday morning, I believe. Oh, okay. Well, that'll be an interesting Saturday morning, won't it? Right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And hopefully I can bring more good content, and hopefully we can get some more rewards out of these rare rewards. Cheers, guys. Thanks, and bye-bye.